talk to you for a moment? I have a favor to ask. Something... rather personal. I want to thank you again for recovering the Wonder Medicine. It meant a lot to me. But disposing of Vash's reagents isn't enough to solve the medical supply shortage. Many of my patients can't be seen promptly, and my stock of medicine is running low. Thanks to you, the route to the overworld through the furnace core has reopened. I'd like to use it to return to the surface and see if I can get some help. Funny as always. Remember my adoptive parents I mentioned to you a while ago? After the reopening of the furnace core passage, I had an idea. I wrote a letter and asked Sampo to deliver it to my parents' old address. I didn't have high hopes, but amazingly, Sampo brought me my mother's reply. That's exactly what I thought when I got her letter. Mom said they still live at the old house, but they're not working on the front lines anymore. They should still have some connections in the medical school and the hospital, though. If I'm lucky, maybe I can convince them to send extra medical supplies to the underworld. Of course, that's not the only reason for me to go back to the surface. I can't wait to visit my parents again. And I can tell from my mom's letter that they feel the same. If possible, I would like you to go with me. Wonderful. That's such a relief. I've sent another letter to my mom telling her to find us near Fountain Plaza. Don't worry, I know my way around the administrative district.
The next destination? Up to you.
This place doesn't seem to have changed much from what I remember. Oh, there you are. Sorry, I got distracted watching the crowds. Look at the busy flow of people. Life in the overworld carries on as usual, as if nothing has happened. We're a little early. I've got an idea. I want to buy my mom a gift. You're more of an overworld local than I am now. Any suggestions? Workshop? I'm not too sure about that. Let's see if we have other options. Oh, yes. I remember there was a florist in the overworld. How about we head over that way? I've been underground for so long, I almost forgot what flowers smell like. Eversummer? Was that always the name? Seems I was too young to get the irony back then. Sorry. I don't mean to sound cynical. Maybe it simply represents the people's hopes up here. Now that I think about it, sending flowers is quite the tradition in my family. Mom, Dad, Vash, and I, whenever something good happened, we sent each other flowers to celebrate. Do you want to hear a flower story? Each year for their anniversary, my dad would send my mom a bouquet of ball peonies wrapped in red paper. I heard that ball peonies represent love that knows no end. It does fit their marriage. My father is a famous surgeon in Belobog. Because of his fame, people in medical circles paid great attention to his surgeries. He always had a lot of stress to deal with. Each time he finished a tricky operation, my mom and I would buy a single stem of sunshine and then pin it on the chest pocket of his apron. Sunshines represent warmth and love of light. For patients on the verge of death, my dad might have been the only light to penetrate the darkness around them. Vash. Out of everyone in my family, I think he probably appreciated flowers the least. Still, I remember the day he received his offer from the medical academy. My parents took me to the florist, and we bought him the most expensive marquise stem in the shop. When we gave him the flower, he failed to hide his smile. You can't imagine how hard it was to get him to smile. As an orphan, I never knew my birthday. My adoptive parents took me to the overworld and made the day I joined the family my birthday. Each year on that day, my parents would give me a bouquet of first snow. The number of stems represented how many years had passed since I joined the family. I only found out later that first snow represents beautiful memories. My parents gave me a beautiful childhood, and I still haven't had the chance to thank them for that.
I'll take this one.
Oh, first snow, is it? 1 second. I'll get it ready for you. There you go. Sorry for the wait. Hope to see you again soon.
All done? May I have a look? First snow. Thank you. It reminds me of carefree childhood days. Oh, those times were pure and innocent, just like these petals. I knew you'd pick the right flowers. Mom and Dad will be so happy. Let's go. My mom will be there soon. Best not to leave old folks waiting.
These ball peony blossoms are gorgeous.
Come around and have a look.
Mom!
Nat? Nat, is that you? Oh, come here, my darling.
It's It's been too long, Mom. Too long. Sorry. I don't usually get this emotional. How have you been, Mr. Oswell? Thank you so much for taking care of my parents these last 10 years.
I'm doing fine, Miss Natasha. Just fine. Look at you. You've blossomed into a fine young woman. Such a pity that your father...
Dad, I was wondering where he is. Is he...
It was 3 years ago, Nat. No need to be sad. He passed away very peacefully.
I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry. For 10 years, I left you both in the overworld. Mr. Oswell, I'm sorry you had to bear all this weight.
Don't be, my dear. It is my honor to look after your parents.
It's not your fault that they sealed off the passage between the surface and the underground. Don't be so harsh on yourself, daughter.
Oh, Mom. I have so much to say to you. But, there's an urgent matter that needs your help. I apologize. I wish this were a happier reunion. But there are too many suffering with sickness in the underworld. You're the only person I can go to for help.
Oh, there's no need to apologize, my child. I've heard of your deeds down there, and I know you've saved many lives. Your father? He would be proud of you. We have many connections in the medical academy. No matter what you need, be it medicine or data, I should be able to get it for you. Be the doctor you always were, Nat. We have all the time in the world to catch up later.
It's all right. I was prepared. Although it still hurts to hear it from Mom. With her help, we'll be able to ease the underworld's medical supply shortage. That's good news for patients who'd lost hope. I really wish I could spend the whole day talking to her about the old days. But sadly, now is not the time. Let's head back to the underworld. We need to spread the good news.
Miss Natasha, one moment, please.
Mr. Oswell? I thought you headed back home with Mom. How come...
I apologize, Miss Natasha. As a matter of fact, there's something I have to tell you in person.
Something that Mom isn't supposed to know?
You haven't changed a bit. Smart and sensitive. The fact of the matter is, in the first 2 years after the passage was closed off, I received many letters from Master Vash.
What? Letters from Vash? Are you certain, Mr. Oswell?
Of course, miss. I recognized his handwriting. You'll see what I mean when you read the letters yourself. Actually, those letters were intended for your eyes only. The delivery address was the underworld, but because of the sealing off of the passageway, the letters were sent back to your old house, to me.
I don't understand. Did you not show them to my parents?
I'm sorry, miss. I opened one of them out of curiosity. Master Vash stressed in the letter that your parents must not know what happened to him. That's why I put the letters in a secure place, waiting to hand them to you when we could meet again. I'm not sure if I did the right thing, Miss Natasha. I just didn't want your parents to feel that their son was so close and yet so far away.
Do you have the letters on you, Mr. Oswell? Let me take a look.
Of course, here. You can tell it's the young master's handwriting.
The cold has revealed to me my arrogance. How can a child who grew up in warmth ever begin to comprehend a cure to bitter cold? Vash didn't give up on his research into blizzard immunity, even after he left the city. I live in abandoned houses under broken roofs and continue my experiments. One step after another, I've made breakthroughs. I'm trembling, not because of the cold, but because I can feel I'm getting closer to the answer I seek. If what's in here is true, then Vash must have built a lab somewhere in the snow plains, and even made progress in his research. But how can that be? There'd be no point in him lying to me in the letters. Still, it's possible he may have gone completely insane before he started writing them. I need to leave the city to recover my brother's research data. Are you willing to come with me?
Leave the city? You are taking too much risk, Miss Natasha.
I know, Mr. Oswell. But I have a hero with me. He saved the underworld. I'm sure he'll protect me, right? Vash, it's been so many years. Are you still alone in the blizzard? Oh, ignore me. I'm just talking to myself. Let's go. It's time to face my past head-on. Such harsh cold. It's hard to imagine anyone surviving in these conditions. Unless blizzard immunity is real. Let's hurry up. We need to find any clues that Vash may have left behind before both of us become ice sculptures.
Want to see what I can do?
Pretty good crowd today.
Let me through! Watch this!
Time for the main event. Keep up!
Nap time. Naughty child. I'm okay.
You're not going anywhere! Get it now? That's the power of the Cloud Knights. Huh? Ha! Want to see what I can do? Watch this!
Let's begin.
Here, this looks like lab equipment. Maybe Vash left it behind. Huh. Still, it's all just used test tubes, beakers, and other vessels. There's no sign of any sample reagents or lab notes for that matter. Oh, I know my brother. He's meticulous when it comes to medical experiments. There's no way he wouldn't document his results. I want to go deeper into the snow plains. Can you press on any further? Gosh, the temperature keeps getting lower, but we can't give up halfway. No need. Don't you underestimate the leader of Wildfire. Oh. Let's press on then. This may not sound like me, but I hope that deity the architects worship can grant us some luck.
Citizens? Outside the walls? Hey, you two! Stop right there!
That's a Silvermane guard. Is he yelling at us? Oh, I'd almost forgotten. No one can leave Belobog without authorization. Looks like we need to talk our way out of this.
I can't say you sound suspicious, but I can't just take your word for it either.
Captain, look at her necklace. Maybe she's telling the truth.
Huh? It's the same as Dr. Vash's.
My brother does wear an identical necklace. Do you know him?
Are you really his sister? Dr. Vash saved a lot of my soldiers.
Saved your soldiers?
Yes. Take a look at the guards patrolling outside the city. All of them are risking their lives. Aside from the monster-related casualties, we lose men to frostbite every year. But thanks to the medicine the doctor leaves us, my soldiers are able to withstand the cold. They can make camps in the snow plains as footholds for our patrols. If it weren't for the doctor, we would have long since frozen to death.
Medicine. Blizzard immunity.
We don't know. Dr. Vash is elusive. My squad only met him once, and he didn't seem like the talkative type. He leaves the medicine at specific locations, and our patrols go there to collect it. The medicine is extremely potent. A small vial could keep someone warm for a week. Speaking of the doctor, it's been a long time since we last saw him. At least 2 or 3 years. I hope he's alive and well.
So he really did have a breakthrough in the snow plains. Oh, did the medicine have any side effects for you?
Side effects? Not that I know of. If there were a problem, it'd be that we couldn't go back to the city until the effect had worn off.
Because the city would be too hot for us. We'd break a sweat just sitting idle.
Thanks for the information. We're planning to head deeper into the snow plains to find my brother.
Seems like you made up your mind. I'd really like to send some of my men with you, but we can't leave our posts. Here, take this medicine. If what you two told me is true, I'm sure you're more than capable of handling yourselves out there.
Thank you, Captain. We'll take it with us.
Let's begin.
Time for the main event. Turn it up!
Time for a shot. Now,
Pretty good crowd today. Keep up!
Let me through! Watch this!
Leave it to me.
Get it now? That's the power of the Cloud Knights. Ha! Ha!
Let's begin.
Get it now? That's the power of the Cloud Knights.
hold on. That's a big guy over there. Did you see that? There's something on the monster's back. Oh, the blizzard immunity. Shall we drink it? It's your call. I'm ready. Doctor's got your back. Can you feel it? It seems like Vash's medicine is working. So warm.
Take this! Shape of Taishu! Rise, Phoenix!
You know nothing of the way to survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Turn it up! Ready to lose your... You can fight it, or rock with it!
Want to see what I can do? Watch this!
It's done. That was my first time seeing you in battle. You've got some moves, don't you? No wonder you were able to save the underworld. Let's have a look over there. My gut tells me we should find something connected to Vash. These are records of his experiments. It's Vash's handwriting. This must be the location of his final lab. Come have a look. His last experiment was nearly 2 years ago? What happened after that? his notes seem to suggest he was working to improve blizzard immunity. Brother, where are you? What happened? Sorry. I needed to take a moment. After seeing the letters Mr. Oswald kept for me, I was hoping things might have ended differently. I shouldn't have asked you to come with me to such a dangerous place. I do. I can't forgive him for what he's done. Nor can I say I don't miss him. Maybe I should feel glad. The medicine might not have been what he wanted it to be, but it came to something. Maybe he found some inner peace. They'll remember him as a murderer, as someone whose evil experiments brought great harm to the innocent. Vash doesn't deserve to be remembered as a doctor. I know that very well. But maybe this blizzard immunity can now bring benefit to others, even if it was made by a monster. Human beings really are conflicted life forms. I'll take his records and data with me, and continue what he started. One day the world will see a perfect blizzard immunity. Before we leave, I'd like to ask for another favor. The last one, I promise. That should do. Hope it can withstand the snow. You're right. Let me think. Here lies Vash. My brother. That'll do. Thank you for helping me. I feel like a great weight has been lifted. So long, brother. Hope you don't forget Dad's teaching. A doctor does not get to choose his or her patient, my children. Remember, never say no to those who come to you for help. Never.
Where did they get to? Ah! Speak of the devil. I was just wondering when you might show up. Ready? My stomach's always ready for food and drink. There's something I need your help with. I had to make it up to you somehow. Looks like we're not the only ones who wanted afternoon tea today, though. We'll have to stand up for the time being. Don't drink too much, or you won't be able to sleep tonight. Anyway, about the something I needed your help with. Don't get ahead of yourself. This might be more complicated than you think. How can I put this? If I remember correctly, you, March, and Don Hong came here on that train. The Astral Express, right? I was wondering, is the train accepting new passengers? Boarding exam? Like a test? I can do that. That sounds like the admission system that schools in Bellabog use. I'm wondering though, are there any restrictions against, aliens like me from boarding the train? You see, there's not much left for me here except to carry on repairing equipment in the workshop. I like practicing the guitar and performances are fun, but the crowds are pretty small. Besides, I'm a researcher. How could I not get excited about the chance to explore new worlds up close? Everyone gets tired of living in small places like Bellabog after a few years, right? Really? You're gonna say yes, just like that? I understand. I'm counting on you. I know this is a lot to ask out of the blue, so apologies in advance. This is a pretty big ask.
There goes Serval. I better send Himiko a text and ask about the request. Or I guess I could ask Mr. Yang? Or Pom Pom? Who's the best one to ask? Let's send a message to Himiko.
Come around and have a look.
You should go and talk to Lady Bronya, Serval. It was her personal invite, after all.
I know. Let me think about it. Oh, no, not at all. I could do with a hand, actually.
Perfect timing. Please, talk some sense into her.
I knew it. You know what? You're right. We should work these things out on our own.
Serval, I understand your reluctance to rejoin the Silvermane Guards. But Lady Bronya values your talent, and she sees how much you could contribute to the rejuvenation of Belobog. So I came to talk to you about it. In any case, you should at least pay her a visit.
Okay, I get it. I'll make a trip to Klapoth Fort and tell Bronya what I really think. Sorry, I need to get this over with. Let me know what they said when I get back.
Same old Serval. Is she creating trouble for you too? Sorry, my head's still in the argument. It's like this. As you know, my sister used to be one of the research team leads in the Silvermane Guard's technology division. Stellarons were her main area of research. But her expertise went far beyond Stellarons. She was, and still is, well versed in mechanical engineering and other fields. Immediately after her succession, Lady Bronya set her sights on Serval's talents. The Supreme Guardian wants her to resume her technological research and be a shining light for the revitalization of Belobog. However, you saw her attitude just now. I doubt her meeting with Lady Bronya will change anything. It'll probably just leave them both feeling dejected. I think there's more than one element to it. My intuition tells me this is mostly linked to Madame Cocolia's passing. That's true, but... never mind. It's just a personal hunch. I've never been good at reading my sister's mind. I can tell the two of you have a close bond. If you get the chance, see if you can persuade her to open up about it. Hand on heart, I wouldn't want to see her sitting behind a desk in Klapoth Fort and sighing all day either. Belobog is too small a place for a mind as inquisitive as Serval's. Maybe it would be better for her to join you on your journey. I'll admit, I'm a little worried about how she plans on getting all this across to Lady Bronya. Are you busy? Let's go and wait for her in front of Klapoth Fort. You know what I mean. Doesn't seem like they've finished talking yet. I hope it's not turning into a shouting match. Let's go in.
I understand your circumstances, Serval. I respect your choice. It was my mistake to make an unwarranted request without considering your own wishes. Allow me to offer you my apologies. I hope you don't take this matter to heart.
No need, Bronya. You're a Supreme Guardian now. Don't let a little thing like this... Besides, I'm the one who should be apologizing. I've put my own personal reasons ahead of Belobog's reconstruction.
I get it, Serval. After all, you and Mother... Sorry, I don't mean to open up old wounds. But there's something I need to ask you. This guitar, I found it after going through Mother's old things. She was never a music lover, so I thought this might be connected to you.
Cocolia... you...
Huh?
It's nothing. You're right, it does belong to me. In fact, it once belonged to me and Cocolia. It was our shared treasure. If you don't mind, Vanya, could I take it back to the workshop?
Of course. I'm sure there's a story behind it, but that's between you and Mother. I won't pry. I hope you have an amazing journey, Serval. Do remember to visit home when you get the chance.
I will. Thank you, Vanya. I assume you heard our conversation just now. I didn't expect her to be so open-minded. And she didn't even try to persuade me to stay. She didn't summon me just to return the guitar, did she?
I wouldn't rule it out. She's good at reading people's minds. She would have known that you'd never set foot in Klopoth Fort voluntarily.
After all these years, I never thought I'd set eyes on this guitar again. Guess we're stuck with each other. Well, it'll take a while to tell. When we were in cadet school, Kokolia and I were notoriously disruptive. We were always coming up with the next crazy invention. We called it exploring the infinite possibilities of new technologies. This guitar was one of those inventions. Kokolia came up with a name. The Super Electromagnetic Flux Player, or electric guitar for short. Not really, no. She was a military history major, very different from what I was doing. Still, we hung out every day. It's only natural that my love for inventing would rub off on her. I told you it'd take a while to tell the story. Let's get back to the workshop first. By the way, want to help me pack my bags? Huh? That melody.
That's one of yours, right?
I didn't think many people liked that one. Seems the city might have a few nice memories of me after I'm gone. Well, it's getting late. Let's head back. There's no place like home. I never feel completely free out there. Chapard, can you lend your dear sister a hand? Help me pack my bags.
Am I allowed to refuse? This place... just looking around gives me a headache.
Okay, I promise this is the last time. I'm about to go traveling with him. Who knows how long it'll be before I can visit home again. You should help me pack while you still have the chance.
Fine. I'll give you a hand.
You just need to make yourself at home. You've done plenty of work already. Since you're so curious, I'll give you the whole story. This guitar was actually given to me as a birthday present by Kokolia a long time ago. I came up with the design, but I was never able to build it. Some of the raw materials were either too expensive or too hard to get a hold of. She helped me turn the concept into reality. Quick as lightning, always keeping her word. That was her way of doing things. Back then, I thought we'd be friends for life.
If it was a gift, why was it in Madame Cocolia's office?
I don't think anyone realized, but back then we were so close we didn't even differentiate between each other's possessions. We shared pretty much everything. We lived in the same dormitory, went to the same school together every day, ate together, whiled away the time together, and occasionally talked about music together, though it wasn't something she was overly familiar with. That's how things were until the day we fell out. A lot of our shared possessions never left her office again. I was always looking forward to the day she'd return this guitar. I thought that would be the day we could bury the hatchet. Now that I think about it, perhaps I was too naive. She'd probably forgotten it even existed. And that's the only Cocolia you guys ever got to know, huh? Always ahead of everyone else, never looking back, even for a second. She put it all out of her mind. Me and every memory to do with me. You know, but that's what makes it harder.
Let bygones be bygones, sister.
How did the conversation get so heavy again? No good. Let's talk about something interesting. You know something, Japard? That guitar case in your hand and my guitar? They're both from the same prototype. The Super Electromagnetic Flux Player.
I never knew your guitar had a connection to me, too. Quite the story.
Well, let's see. Ah, yes. Silvermane Guard's standard issue portable heater. It's broken, though.
It's a family heirloom. It belonged to Rhonda once. You should take care of it.
I wanted to keep it with me. But that's the problem with old things. The less you use them, the easier they break. Besides, no one's paying me to fix it, right? Hey, wait a minute. Didn't I teach you a few machine overhaul skills? Want to practice on this old antique?
Here we go again. You don't have to do everything she tells you.
The principle behind this machine and the one you fixed when you first came to the workshop is the same. You'll understand when you see it. So, I'll leave this one to you. In return, how about I tell you the backstory behind it? I knew you were a reliable apprentice. Think about it. You helped me fix my machine the first time you came here, and now you're helping me the last time, too. That's called having a beginning and an end, right?
Well done for putting up with her for this long.
Wow, great job. Like I said, a reliable apprentice. As promised, let me tell you the story behind this little heater. Its original owner was an ancestor of the Landau family, Rhonda Landau. She was one of our great heroes who participated in the defense of Belobog 700 years ago. The records tell that during the decisive battle, she led 2 Silvermane Guard brigades. She engaged the enemy for 4 full days and nights in the fight for the city. I still have the newspaper clippings from that time. I'll show you when I get the chance.
700-year-old newspaper clippings? That seems a little unlikely. I'd take that with a grain of salt. Even if they do exist, odds are she lost them.
The clippings aren't the point. What I'm trying to say to you is that we have a lot of talent in the Landau family.
Take responsibility for your choices and the people of Belobog. Every Landau is driven by that ethos.
Oh, that's a letter I was gonna send to my mom. I haven't even finished writing it. There's nothing personal in it. Have a read if you like.
You're still writing to Mom and Dad?
Only to Mom. You know, I still don't get along with Dad.
You know, Serval, if you're really leaving Belobog for a while, you should pay them a visit first.
I'll think about it. Oh, that? It's a botanical specimen. Little Lynxie sent it during one of her research trips. As for the name, I can't quite recall.
Snowman's Palm. And Little Lynxie is the youngest sister of the Landau family, by the way.
Yes. Snowman's Palm. My memory's the worst.
It's the only plant here that looks like it's still alive.
Hey, watch it! Anyway, this specimen means a lot to me, so I'm bringing it with me. Thanks for the reminder. That should be everything. Finally. I think I must have left cadet school with about the same amount.
No easy job. Serval, I want to ask you again. Do you really want to leave Belobog and go with the Trailblazers?
Of course. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I can't miss it. What's wrong, Japard? Oh, I see. Can't let go of your dear old sister, huh?
Forget it. I don't want to complicate things for you. But before you leave, I have one last request to make. The garrison is heading down to the underworld soon, to survey the situation around Boulder Town. Why don't you come with me?
Huh? You just said you didn't want to complicate things for me, and now you're sending me on a mission. Aha! You just want to spend as much time as possible with me before I go, right?
No, it's not that. I've heard there are a lot of old energy hubs in the underworld, and you're probably the only person in Belobog who knows how to inspect them. Since you're leaving one way or the other, why don't you do the people of the city one last favor before you go?
Even at a time like this, you're still thinking about the people. I don't know what to say. Alright, I'll help you out. The first and last time the Landau siblings will work together.
Thanks, sis. If you have the time, could you accompany the garrison? You're Belobog's hero. I'm sure you must be popular in the underworld. The Silvermane Guards will face less resistance if you come with us. Thanks. I'll contact you when the guards have finished their preparations.
I'm tired of packing. Let's leave it here for today. Thanks for your help. Oh, I drank all the tea. Why am I getting sleepy?